Hey guys, what's up? It's Preach, as always. Got some more Black Ops 4 gameplay for you, but a lot different video today. So, I'm not playing at the moment. We're just going to be watching gameplay from a few minutes ago, but Caleb has got some questions written down that he wants to ask me. So, we're going to have him ask those questions, and I'm going to try to answer them the best I can for you. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this video. Caleb, go ahead, man.
Hey, the first question I think a lot of people who haven't been watching your channel very long are wondering is, why did you choose the name Preach?
The reason I chose the name Preach is because I am a preacher in my actual life outside of the YouTube channel, outside of Call of Duty. I believe in God. I gave my heart to Christ when I was 9 years old and accepted his call to preach his word and preach the gospel when I was 17. And I'm 27 now, so been doing so for 10 years, and really, it is my life, so what better name to go with for my gamer tag?
Alright, so another question is, why did you decide to start your channel in the first place?
The reason I decided to start my channel was because I've got some guys at the church, some teenagers that love watching gaming videos. They play video games all the time, and they were watching guys that, you know, there's a lot of cussing in their videos, a lot of things like that, and their parents were getting upset that they were watching these videos. They didn't want them to hear the inappropriate language, all of that was going on, and I absolutely don't blame them whatsoever. So I decided to make this channel. It would be a lot more clean, a lot more family-friendly, and hopefully something that they can watch without their parents getting upset and still get to see some good content.
Yeah, I think that's something that is awesome about your channel, is that you're able to watch it and not have to worry about your parents or your kids or whoever hearing things that you wouldn't necessarily want them to hear. So another question is, who is your favorite YouTuber?
James Spratt is his name, or just Spratt. He's plays for, or records content, I should say, for Optic Gaming. And he is, wow, the metal thing comes up in the theater is weird. Anyway, he records content for Optic Gaming. He is a sniper and a quickscoper. He's probably the best out there, if not the best, definitely one of the best. And he's very clean in his channel. The occasional cuss word, but not very often. But the biggest thing is he's having fun the whole time. You can just tell that he's having a good time while he's playing. And you know, when he gets upset, he doesn't rage out. And there's things like that that I could really work on. And because of that, I really enjoy watching his channel.
Yeah, he has an awesome channel. But what about YouTube has changed the way that you play the game itself?
It has made me play, for one, I think slightly more aggressive as a whole. Simply because, you know, people want to watch high kill matches. They want to watch a lot of action, which honestly has probably hurt my kill death overall. But I do think it makes for a more entertaining channel. And also, you know, it provided a place for me to host the quickscoping and the sniping videos. And if I had a place to post them, then I had a reason to work hard to get better at it. If that makes any sense. You know, it gave me a reason to stick with it outside of just doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Then what about sniping? What kind of advice can you give to someone who has never sniped but is wanting to get into that?
My biggest advice, you don't have to quickscope every shot. You know, there's a lot of people that they try to snipe and they try to go in and quickscope everything, and that just does not always work out. You can hard scope, you can drag scope, you can quick scope, but you have to do whatever works best. Alright guys, so we're moving on to the next round, but that's what I would say would be the biggest thing is, you know, just play the right shots and be patient with it. If you switch over to sniping, you know, you don't have to expect your KD to be what it is while you're red gunning right away. You don't have to expect to hit all the cool shots that you see your favorite YouTubers hitting. It's a challenge, and it takes a long time, and especially in BO4, it's really hard, so be patient with yourself.
So my experience playing COD with you for all these years is you've been rushing and red gunning. What's the biggest mistake, and what advice do you have on people who are doing that?
The biggest mistake I think people make is sprinting around every corner when you're rushing. And it's ironic that you asked that when you did. I literally just sprinted around a corner and got slaughtered as you asked that question. But don't sprint around every corner. You know, pay attention to the mini-map. Be aware of where people are at. That way you can still pre-aim. You know, you're rushing, you're trying to flank, you're trying to get up in their spawn. You're trying to make things a nightmare for them, but you can't get caught with your sights down.
Alright, so something that all of us have in this game is you get 10 unique slots to build your class, including your gun, your perks, your secondary weapon. How do you think is the right way to set up a class? Do you put a preference on your secondary weapon, your perks, just your primary weapon? How would you consider the best way to do it?
I guess it depends on which way you're playing. If I am playing red gunning, the preference is on the primary weapon. The reason being is because you really should never need your secondary unless it's a launcher and you're trying to, you know, get camos for getting rid of score streaks or kill streaks or things like that. You know, that's fine, that's one thing, but if you're just using a pistol, you really don't need it. So why waste a class slot with it? That's kind of my view. And then with a sniper, though, having that pistol in the back pocket is always handy, because there's going to be situations where you get rushed or you're in a tight spot, and you can pull out that pistol and put a whole lot more rounds down than you can with a sniper, so it's a lot easier to use that in those short-range situations.
Ruin down.
Alright, so if you can, give us an example of this next question in the answer itself, and that is, what is the most frustrating way to die in BO4?
Ajax shield. Okay? Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Of all the possible ways to die, it's Ajax shield. And the biggest thing, there was a situation I think you were playing with me the other day where we had me, you, Genox, Chevy, all four shooting at an Ajax, and his shield's just eating it. It's not knocking him back. It's not doing anything to him. And he just rushes right at everybody. And I, like a chicken, ducked away. We were on militia, ran under the bridge, and got out of it. But I think he may have gotten all three of you guys. And there's just no way someone should win a, you know, 1-on-4 gunfight. If I had stayed there, I would have died too. It's just ridiculous the way that works.
Alright, so that kind of leads us to another question is, who do you think is the best specialist?
Personal preference and game mode dependent, I think. If you are in objective-based game modes, I think Torque is the best and most undervalued specialist out there. But for me personally, and me and you playing a lot of TDM together, I would say Nomad, because both things that you can use, both of his abilities, are things that get you kills without you directly having to be using them at the moment.
Okay, so another question is, what kind of advice do you have on people to play the different kinds of maps? Do all maps play the same, or do you think that there is a way that you play different maps to take advantage of their unique qualities?
I think they all have their advantages, their disadvantages, in certain types of styles. The biggest thing, if it's a map that has a lot of close quarters, like picture the barrel side of Seaside. Okay, if you're running through there and you've got an AR, you've got a sniper, you've got something like that, you're pretty much toast. You know, an SMG or a fast-firing AR is the way to go in there. But you play in somewhere that has long lines of sight, like Icebreaker, for example. You've got an LMG and you can post up on a head glitch. You've got, like the ICR, you know, a pretty accurate long-range AR. Or a sniper rifle, you know, you're pretty much set on that map. But if you're running around, you got a Cordite or a Spitfire, and you're caught out in the middle of all that snowy area with no cover, you're toast.
Alright, so here's one that I'm sure a lot of people would like to know. Call of Duty has brought us a lot of different awesome games, but which one is your favorite Call of Duty?
For me personally, I know this differs for everybody, so I don't mean it in any way for controversy, but BO1 is hands down my favorite Call of Duty. I could go into details on reasons why, but the biggest thing is it's because of the first one where I was any good.
So COD has brought us a lot of awesome guns over the years. Which one of those guns has been your favorite so far?
I would say probably the AK-74U from Black Ops 1. I don't know if you remember that gun or not, but it's one I use all the time when we played that back in the day. It was kind of a tweener gun, you know. It was overpowered compared to most SMGs, but it was underpowered compared to most ARs. It was an SMG, but I could use it on non-SMG kind of maps. And so it made it something that I used a lot. Outside of that, probably the FAMAS also from BO1, and for the same reason.
So COD 4 has brought us a lot of stuff back from BO1, including those maps. So, are you happy about them bringing those maps back?
I am. I think Summit plays okay. I think Firing Range plays great in most modes. So I love those. Jungle, it's dependent, but more so than how they play, it's just for nostalgia factor. I love it.
Alright, so if they were to bring back another map into this game later on that they haven't brought back yet, which one would you like to see?
Array. Without a doubt, Array. I know it's in Blackout, kinda, I guess. But that was a map that used to have a lot of fun on, just playing angles, picking off people at a long distance, and it was a map that I played way different than my normal style, you know. It was not a run around with an SMG, it was a slow play AR map for me, sometimes even a sniping map, and back then, sniping for me was, you know, camping out and hard scoping, and so it was just a lot different, but it was a map that I had a lot of fun on when it was, you know, in existence.
So you mentioned objective-based game modes a few minutes ago, and what would be your advice on playing those differently than TDM?
You play them way slower, and it's a lot easier to spawn trap because the spawns are just kind of controlled based off of the objective in the first place. Domination's probably the most popular OBJ mode. So, for example, on Dom, you would, you know, if you're spawning A side, they're spawning C side, they're pretty much going to continue spawning C side unless you capture C. So you have a pretty good idea where they're going to spawn. It's a lot easier if you just play it patient to sit and wait. You can't really do that because the spawns flip so much in Team Deathmatch. So that's probably the biggest difference between them and how you would play them. Obviously, playing the objective itself, you know, trying to capture the flags, trying to capture the points, or get time on the hard point, whatever it may be, is important. But if you can manage to hold another team in their spawn and control 2 flags like in Dom, you're pretty much going to win.
Okay, so with the effect plus the time to get it, how hard they are to get, what is the best score streak right now, do you think?
Mine going down.
And we're talking balancing difficulty with usefulness. That's honestly, that's tough. To be totally honest, I would say the Hellstorm if you use it right, because it's actually a pretty low kill streak in terms of how hard it is to get for how useful. In I think the first gameplay on this video, I had a 4-piece with the Hellstorm, and it's my lowest kill streak of the 3 that I use. So if your lowest kill streak can get you a 4-piece, that's a pretty good kill streak in my opinion.
Yeah, it really is.
Matter of fact, I just got a 4-piece just
so
now in this with it. So.
Alright, so what is the most satisfying way to kill someone in the game?
Jump, strafing, quick scope. For me. That may differ for a lot of people, but, you know, when I can jump around the corner and quick scope somebody, or jump and kill them over the ledge, and you've seen that highlighted in some of my videos, me doing that. I even throw some of those in if I get killed immediately afterwards. I still throw those in the video just because I think they look great and it's really satisfying.
Alright, so something you brought up a couple minutes ago was the new game mode of Blackout. What is your initial opinions on Blackout so far?
I think, everybody compares it to Fortnite, PUBG, things like that. And I prefer it over those, but I've just never been a BR guy since they've been out. I played some Fortnite with the group and had some fun with it, but I'm just not good at BRs, and so I can't really give a great answer on that. They play a whole lot slower, and I don't have the patience that's needed. It's great that people do, but I struggle with them.
So how many likes or comments would it take for us to get some Blackout gameplay?
Ooh, man. I have never had anywhere near 100 likes on a video, but I personally prefer playing multiplayer, so I'm going to make this an absurd number for the type of likes that I usually get, and say 200.
Alright, I hope we get it. Alright, so...
You're going to be out there promoting this video to everyone just so that I play Blackout.
I absolutely am. That is correct.
Alright guys, so Caleb's been asking me these questions. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hope you guys have enjoyed meeting Caleb, even though he's not on camera for you to see. Do you have anything in closing, Caleb? Anything? I'm curious myself, kind of your response to some of these answers. Were any of them different than you expected, or just kind of your thoughts on it?
I thought it went really well. I enjoyed it a lot, having the opportunity to work with you. And I think the only thing that surprised me was that Array was the map that you would want to bring back.
Alright, now here's my question then. What map would you have guessed, and what map would you want to bring back? And we'll close it on that.
Oh boy. I think I would have guessed Nuketown for you, being as that's probably your favorite map ever.
This guy's funny. This guy's funny. I literally wish Nuketown would blow up and die. The actual map.
And for me, it would be WDM. I loved that map.
I actually forgot all about that map's existence, but it was a good map. Caleb, thanks for the questions. That was a lot of fun. Hope you guys all enjoyed the gameplay. Hope you liked the answers and the questions. Thank you for watching. As always, like and subscribe. Reach out.